Trump fires nuclear power workers and is scrambling to rehire them now. Rachel Maddow, here it is.
One of the things we have to do as a country is manage that mess that we made at that site. Where, sure, we needed all that plutonium, okay, but in making it, we really did create the most contaminated radioactive site in the Western Hemisphere, which happens to be in an inhabited U.S. state, right in the middle of our country, right? And so that work, that terrifying, painstaking, very difficult, very expensive work just has to be done. Radioactivity does not clean itself up. And if you leave it alone, it has a way of following you home. Donald Trump just fired the people who do that work at the Hanford nuclear site.
Put it up. So as they are going through what's good to cut from the budget now, who should we fire today, Donald? Actually, Donald says, who should we fire today, Elon? Well, the National Nuclear Security Administration sounds fitting. Yes, the National Nuclear Security Administration. Now the White House is calling it a mistake. My bad. We didn't know what they did. So in what the White House is now calling a mistake, a large swath of NNSA employees were fired last Thursday before the Trump administration realized they had cleared out the wrong agency. By Friday, they were scrambling to rehire these essential workers. All but 28 employees had their dismissals rescinded, according to the Los Angeles Times. The NNSA operates under the Department of Energy, which has the obligation to deal with all energy production in general. An Energy Department spokesperson told CNN that less than 50 people were fired, primarily administrative and clerical roles. Well, that's your support team. That's your administrative, bureaucratical, et cetera, institutional knowledge. The DOGE people are coming in with absolutely no knowledge of what these departments are responsible for. Well, that sounds like a egotistical, bigoted billionaire to me. Yeah. They don't know anything, said Daryl Kimball, executive director of the Arms Control Association, referencing Elon Musk Department of Government Efficiency team. Quote, they don't seem to realize that it's actually the Department of Nuclear Weapons more than it is the Department of Energy. Sir, how do you expect them to know? Did anybody put it on X? That's all they read. Okay. All right. According to CNN, the purge included NNSA staff on the ground at facilities where nuclear weapons are built. These staff oversee the contractors who build the weapons and inspect them once they are complete. Others fired, including officials who set requirements and guidelines for contractors who actually build, nuclear weapons. A source told CNN they believe these individuals were fired because, quote, no one has taken any time to understand what we do and the importance of work to the nation's national security. Yeah, I get that. But the White House should know. Can they call somebody? Can they speak to the Department of Energy? Can anyone read the Cliff Notes? Can somebody Google it? Is anyone doing basic stuff? Because I Googled your name, it's clear what you do. They didn't even Google you. Congress is freaking out. Quote, Congress is freaking out because it appears DOGE didn't really realize NNSA oversees the nuclear stockpile, a source told CNN. Quote, The nuclear deterrent is the backbone of American security and stability, period. For there to be any even very small holes poked, even in the maintenance of that, should be extremely frightening to people. One of the hardest hit plants was the Pantex plant that's near Amarillo, Texas, where reportedly 30% of the cuts were directed. That's to one specific plant. Employees there work on reassembling warheads, one of the most sensitive jobs across the nuclear weapons workforce, with the highest levels of security clearance. Many of those fired lost access to email before being notified they were fired until they showed up Friday, and then they were locked out of their offices. Trump critics could not help but point out the incompetence that could have had far worse consequences. One quote, accidentally firing the people in charge of nukes, whoops, one journalist said. Molly Jong-Fast posted on X. A self-described Army veteran tweeted that the Trump administration is making it embarrassing to be an American. Yeah, but he's been doing that, so. Here's the extreme of it all. These individuals, this efficiency team, Elon Musk himself, Donald Trump, who we already know, Mike Pence said the man don't read. So they are so careless. They're not taking the time to simply look up the agency's name. Do you realize that's quite extreme? Who would be championed as a great executive leader by doing things this incompetent? And it's not simply a one-off. This is routine from the administration. They continue to move in a way that shows they don't care about executive leadership. They don't care about implementation, professionalism. Hell, they don't even care about qualifications unless a Black woman is the person seeking the job. Because what's clear is that Elon nor his cronies, none of them are qualified for these positions. Sharon, thoughts here?
All of it. Listen, Elon and Trump, the president, co-president, are like these people who just rip open a box. They don't look at the materials. They don't read the directions. They don't, because they just don't want to do it. It's not fun to do. And they just start making decisions. They don't hear both sides. They don't consider obstacles. They just go, baby, go. And what they achieve is chaos, unless it's ending investigations about Elon Musk and preserving his corporate welfare. Other than that, it's just chaos for the rest of us.
That's it. That's it. But it shows you what we saw on that debate stage.
Yep.
When Kamala Harris ran circles around Trump. Because Trump simply doesn't care enough to understand or to study the complexities of presidential leadership, right? Everybody saw it. It was clear. And now he is governing in accordance to how he campaigned. And that's all propaganda.